Hi, where's everyone? There you are. The other chat closed. Well, at least you're here. Yeah, can you hear me now? Hey, Karen, can you guys hear me? You can hear me? All right, good. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Then I was going to use OBS, so I started opening up OBS, and then I changed it and said, fuck it. And then restarted. Yeah, that was weird. All I did was pull out the USB cord. That shouldn't have shut down. Shane, not everyone would agree with that. We chatted about the weather. That's good. Yeah, it's just, it was really weird. I don't know what happened. I'm glad, Patrick. Thanks, Mercy. Yeah, now everyone hit like. Hello again, Louie. Hopefully everyone comes back over. We are back in business. Thank you, Leo. Nope, Heather. See, we were in another room and then got shut down because I yelled at my kid to let the dog out, and I pulled the cord out, and the next thing you know, it was gone. And then I couldn't get it back. There's an ad across your face, really? I think back in the 70s, tried to get the U.S. to convert to Celsius, but everyone voted, rioted, and stuff. Winston is not in his PJs. I haven't tried yet, though. He's hungry. Give Fluff a nut. Falcon. PJs by Victoria's Secret. Nope, TJ Maxx. Hey, Rebecca. Fluffernutter. He needs a haircut so bad. Say hi. Say hi. I love TJ Maxx. We a groom is too bad we're so far. No, I groom myself. I just give my haircut. He reminds me of George. Like, I should have named him George. For some reason, he just reminds me of a George when his hair's long. Right, George? Who's my little Snuffy? He is cute. Jerome, I didn't, but I haven't checked. I was worried about my sound. He does, right, Ziggy? I just want to call him George all the time. I was like, where'd you get George from? I said, I don't know. He just reminds me of George. Little fluff of butter. Fluff and nut of butter. What? Mwah. Mwah. He's looking at me like, you're crazy, lady. Why is he called Fluff? I don't know. I just call him. One day I looked at him. I said, you look like my little fluff and nut of butter. And that's just what I call him. And he once ate my daughter's Nutter Butters. No. Hug him and squeeze him and name him George. I do. It just reminds me of George. I do give him kisses all day. He gets so annoyed. Right? You get annoyed. Say hi. Yeah, I have him and the big one. What? 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 Ooh. Want to get down? Oh. Oh. Her name is Peanut. I call him Nutter Butter. So you in your PJs. I am in my PJs. As I said, nobody's going to believe I'm in pajamas, but these are pajamas. I bought them today, as a matter of fact. What's up, fam? Nice PJ. Thanks, Jerome. Hot pink. Hot pink's good. I have a nightgown and leggings. That works. Yo, it's cold out. Like, no joke cold. Nice neck bones. Are these? I needed white because this is like white and pink and gray. It is. It's cold. Even where I am, it's cold. All right, guys, hold on 1 second. Fluff and Nutter Butter is like starving and he keeps eating like an empty bowl. So I got to get him food. Hold on 1 second. Come on. Hang on, guys. Ugh. Eat. All right, I'm back. Now he's not going to eat it. 57 in Cali, really? Check out my heat on 72. I mean, it's cold. So what do you want to talk about, Laura? The case or other things? Oh, big news though. I don't know if you guys know this, but Chris Watts is now in Brendan's jail. Someone sent this to me a couple of days ago and I put it in the group and I was like, no way. But yeah, it's been confirmed. Chris Watts is now with Brendan. How do you feel about scarves? I like scarves. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Quick breakdown on Chris Watts. Chris Watts is 34 years old. He was charged with killing his wife and his two daughters and his pregnant wife and two daughters. He pled guilty to all 9 counts, didn't want a trial, didn't want anything, just pled out guilty of all of them and is spending the next like 150 years in jail. He got like 5 life sentences, plus he got it's 5 life sentences plus 45 years. Why would they send him so far out of state? Probably because they didn't think he was safe there. But from what I read, though, there's a lot of high-profile cases in this correctional facility in Wisconsin. I'm well-versed on Watts. I'm in Colorado. I read all the docs. To be honest with you, I'm bored with the case. Like, once he pled guilty, I have no interest in anything else. I know that people are reading all the documents. I read the initial one. I don't care. Like, to me, it's done. It's over. Nothing can happen from it. I don't care that his mistress, like, I was really into the case until he pled guilty to all of it. I was like, fuck it, who cares? Why do you think there's some fishy going on with the Watts? Exactly, Falcon. That's what I'm saying. Like, I knew he was guilty all along, but all this other stuff, like, people, thanks, Beck, people are like freaking out about all the evidence and who's involved. Like, who cares? It's done. Like, nothing can come of it. Send me your mailing address on Facebook. I will send you a couple of silk scarves. Okay, Zig. I like silk scarves. What's the point of such a long sentence? Just because they have to give him, you know, life for every murder that he committed. So that's why. Linda, I'm totally agreement. Like, it's done. WB, everyone. Hey, Spicy. Spicy, were you a Spice Girls fan? Lori, interested in other cases? Jerome, I am. Staircase is guilty. Unabomber is guilty. Zodiac Killer, nobody knows who it was, but I do know that it was not Ed Edwards. JFK conspiracy, I'm still up in the air on that one. Which is why a documentary can be a conflict for an attorney to participate in. Patrick, I didn't see your post. I think there's something fishy because I think Shanna was very addicted to many things, and I do think she provoked some things. Ziggy, I disagree, but we can discuss that. How are you watching Kaczynski's trial? Law and Trial on YouTube has it. The mistress knows more. I think they were together longer. Also, he got the idea that Shannon killed the kids from the CBI. That's exactly right, Beck. I said the same thing. And I posted that too. I was like, it's right there. Like, this is where he got the idea for killing his kids. So I'm right in agreement with that. Laura, what's your opinion? Is Staircase guilty or not guilty? Guilty as charged. And I know a lot of people think I'm wrong, but I'm sorry. I think he's guilty. Staircase, yes, I do think he did it. Staircase is not guilty. Thank you, Phoebe. Law and Crime Network. I didn't know it was Law and Trial, Law and Network. I also think guilty for Staircase. I agree. So an excellent doc that had some evidence that JFK was an accident by SS. That's possible, Karen. I thought Brendan did kill JFK. Oh, no, they forgot to ask. Exactly, Roel. Good point. Yeah, TH is still alive, and so is Elvis. I agree. I work on Zodiac and Unabomber case, and I think it was the same men. Now, the Unabomber wasn't smart enough to be the Zodiac killer. Totally not even smart enough. Have you seen the Jinx? No, I haven't, Courtney. I don't know what the Jinx is. That's exactly right, Falcon. Unabomber was a 7. Or I didn't do nothing. The Jinx is interesting. Yeah, I don't think I've heard of the Jinx. But I am excited to see The Innocent Man that comes out on December 14th on Netflix. That I'm really excited to see. ST guilty or not right now? STE what? Jay, I don't get that. Do I think Steven's guilty or innocent? I've always said Steven was innocent. About Innocent Man, it was, it's a true story, but I forgot the name of the author. He wrote a book on it, and it was a really good book. I read the book, John Grisham. Thank you, Karen. But don't remember it, The Innocent. Yeah, I don't remember it either. I did read it a long time ago. I know about the Manson and the Son. Love true stories. Me too. I used to read all stuff when I was a kid. I'll tune in. Yeah, it's sounds really good. What are your thoughts on the upcoming? Jeremy, I haven't really thought much of it. I'm just excited to see it. Anthony, I think it is, but I can't prove it. But I do think you're right. Jinx is about Robert Durst. Robert Durst is the one in California? Or I'm thinking the real skinny guy. USS Liberty is another one. Yeah, it's conspiracy theories. Keepers was disturbing, but not surprising as an ex-Catholic. I was never Catholic. I'm sorry, the Keepers bored me. I couldn't get past episode 2, but maybe that's because I always knew the Catholic Church was fucked up. I don't know. There was nothing about it that kept my interest. Was I ejected in the last 30 minutes of that check? The Jinx sort of boring to watch, but if you pay attention, there's tons of information. Durst the millionaire who has like 3 or 4 bodies surrounding him. I don't know that one. I don't know that story either. We drove down to Florence, Colorado. Supermax is. It's where the Unabomber is. I think Ridgeway is there too. You can't see anything. Pretty sure it's underground. Fear of 13. I think I saw Fear of 13. Joseph, I think it may have been the other mod who's no longer a mod because she was booting people. Any truth to the rumor on the TH's coworker was a Wisconsin DOJ? That's truth, actually, Jeremy. That's not a rumor. That's actually true. Because I said this when T Manitowoc first reported it, I was like, there's no way. Like, there's no way. So I looked it up, and yeah, it is the same person. Now, why she was there, if it had anything to do with Stephen Avery, I don't believe so. I think that's sheer coincidence. Thank you, TC. I honestly think it's sheer coincidence. Thank you. Kathy Williford. So you guys are so much better than me with names. I'm so bad with names. And I do all these like off the top of my head. I don't have any notes around. But I love you guys for being so good with names and allowing me to be so bad with names. How long would it take you to become a judge in Manitowoc? And I do mean you. You have to be a lawyer first. And I'm not a lawyer. And then I would have to be appointed. And trust me, nobody's appointing me. I can't even get a damn interview with these people. Someone asks TH worked at some gentleman's club with a fancy name. That's stupid. I doubt it. I actually joined Netflix to watch Shadow of Truth, another good one. See, we get Netflix free with the phone plan. Get T-Mobile, you get free Netflix. From what I understand, she is participating in convicting a murderer. Yeah, she is. She does like a whole opening. The Sapphire Club, Teresa didn't work at the Sapphire Club. I think with $10, I mean, she could have done pictures there. Laura, what are your future project on YouTube? Honestly, Jerome, I would like to do more interviews. I really enjoy doing them. I'm looking to do more. You guys seem to like me doing interviews, and I enjoy it. I would like to eventually put together a true crime channel and not just like sitting here giving you guys information, but like interviewing people and really making my mark that way. That's what I'd really want to do. Don't have to take the bar to be a lawyer in Wisconsin. Ain't that the truth? Thanks, Jerome. What is convicting a murderer? Is it linked to MAM? It's Ken Kratz's version, Anthony. You would be appointed as judge if say SADA you're guilty. That's true. I asked all three mods. All good then. Actually, Joseph, there's only 2 mods now. And Marissa and Phoebe are the best. They wouldn't do it. And they would tell me if they did it. Because they know that I don't like booting people. They have free reign to boot comments because, I mean, they're both really intelligent people. And I trust them on comments. But they know even in my own groups, I don't like booting people. Like, people can fight. People can argue. There's no reason why someone has to get booted. We're all adults. Unless you're, like, over the top. I would love for you some night to do a live chat on my case so I can get others' opinions. Okay, I need the information. Ziggy, your real name's not Courtney, is it? Very good idea, because I think you have the profile for that. Thank you, Jerome. Thanks, Jerome. No idea what red lines mean. We love you, though, Joseph. Fran Lebowitz would be a good judge in real life. I'd be a good judge. But seriously, though, Jerome, that's really where the goal is. Like, I like talking about other cases. I like dealing with other cases, but I really want to get more into interviewing and, getting true crime out there, getting stories out there. Like, I'm not an attorney. I'm not a cop. I'm not here to solve crimes. If I happen to be right along the way, awesome. But I mean, I don't have the evidence in front of me or anything. So I really want to get inside other people's heads. interview people involved with cases, like in that specific case or whatever. Interview exonerees, that kind of stuff. Better judge an LK. Exactly, Linda. The whys and whos. It's a perfect way to put it. That's why your idea is great. Thank you. Ziggy, is your real name Courtney? I did accidentally block Ben, but then I couldn't figure out. He got upset yesterday because I didn't let him know that there was a that there was a premiere last night. That's exactly, Patrick, that's exactly right. I would like to be like Nancy Grace. I'd be better, but I'd like that kind of thing. Is your opinion, do you think KZ will get SA out? I think that if it's possible, all right, let me rephrase that. There's no other attorney that I think could do it. So I think she's the best that there is for exonerations and for getting people out. So do I think that she'll do it? If the powers that be allow her, then yes. Spicy, I don't mean I'll be like Nancy Grace, but that kind of show, like giving my opinion on stuff, interview people involved in the case, like that's what I want to turn this channel into if Making a Murderer ever ends. But yeah, that's what I really want to turn it into, is that kind of setting. Laura, do you know Belgium or another country in Europe? I've never been to Europe, Jerome. I always wanted to go to Australia. Thank you, Roel. And what about Marty Tankliff? I thought I did a good job. I need a back scratcher. My back is itchy. I'm trying to find something long enough. Use a straw. Try to imagine me and my friends running a town, country, and countries. It's horrible to say that I think I could do my friend a favor. Speeding fine, then fraud. God knows what. What, Jay? I don't get that. Haven't seen Tankliff yet. It was a good interview. Except I screwed up the sound a little, so he sounds echoey, but it was really good. Your nails are pretty long. Yeah, they are. Most of them are mine, though. My nails along my arm isn't. Coming in hot, thank you. Painful mistake in John Ferrick's book when he attacks judge for spelling Brendan's name in a ruling, consequently as Brennan. He himself spells it Brennan. I think the book was rushed. Honestly, I listened to it on audio, so I couldn't tell you. I think it's around 35 to 40% in most cases. Jerome. Hey, my son is acing French, so I'm going to have him talk in French. Long beef and can't reach the itchy spot that sucks. I know, right, Spicy? Way he handles Marty's interview is sensitive yet direct. Great mixture. Move over, Barbara Walters. Thank you, Karen. Now that's a compliment. Except I wouldn't be as proper as she is. She was so proper. I think it's one thing. 1/3 goes to KZ. I chewed mine off this week when stressed out. Don't chew your nails. Thoughts on what would happen after Zelna files a brief. Fabi, I touched on this in the other room. Let me explain. This is not, her filing has nothing to do with Stephen. I mean, it does, but it's not like he's getting Stephen out. She's getting Stephen out or asking to get him out or he's going to walk. Has nothing to do with that. She's filing, I'm 99% positive. All she's filing is a motion for an evidentiary hearing, meaning that she wants a hearing to present new evidence. That's Flemish? What's Flemish mean? You have your nails squash. I do mine and what they call squabble. Okay. I don't know what Flemish means. Some truths are critical of that book I've read. Wrecking Crew is a great read so far, but I'm only in chapter 10. Understand something, too. The book is a nonfiction book. And whether it was rushed, now's the time to get it out. In my opinion, I'm not an English major, but in my opinion, the nitpicking of certain things, and I don't mean the spelling of the name because that's kind of funny and it's almost ironic and it's a great catch. But, you know, he also doesn't do his own editing. But the content in it, whether he misspelled something or something like that, the content in that book is phenomenal. And stuff that even I didn't know, like how deep the corruption went and stuff. So I enjoyed it. Granted, I had audio on, but I really enjoyed the book. And I didn't nitpick little things. There were a couple little things I noticed. But take what it is for the content of it and enjoy the content, because that's stuff I've never even known. BW is proper, but she was very direct. Love her. Who's BW? You get worms biting your nails? I'm saying Manitowoc, whatever. Jay, are you drinking? Because your spelling is horrendous. Like, I can't even understand it sometimes. They almost in the same clique club. They stick together, us and them. That's it. Flemish, not French. Got my penny on Monday. Sure you did, Patrick. The book has some tough parts, but so much stuff is being put in perspective. Great. I agree. Reporter's view. That's what he did in that book. Laura, I love your smile. Looks like Alanis Morissette. Thank you. I've heard that in my teen years. Early 20s. Barbara Walters. Oh, BW, I gotcha.
Did you call me?
No. I'll let the dog in if he wants to come in. Oh, he's in already? All right. Laura can speak about the Wild Bones thing that supposedly belonged to the Carmen person, KZ's Posey. E-Man, I actually changed that after I read Ferrick's book. And the reason why is because I thought for sure it was Carmen's bones and how they're connected and stuff. But he said something in the book that makes perfect sense. And that's and follow this through. Like it's kind of like a theory, but follow it through. Teresa's mom, we all know when she made that missing call, it was ludicrous. Like it sounded so ridiculous, like she was ordering a pizza. So if they really did find her bones already and they really did find her dead, they probably buried her before that call was ever even made. And if they buried her before that call was even made, they probably took some of the bones and some of her teeth. Like, you're not going to know that when you bury somebody. Their mouth is sealed shut. That would explain why there were only 2 teeth or 1 tooth found. They probably told the funeral director to knock out a tooth or take some of her bones. How's the family ever going to know? They're not. And I thought that was a really interesting theory. Substance over specifics. I'm with you, Joseph. Laurie, speak about Casey supposedly asking the family to remain for testing, and they accepted. Eamon, I haven't heard that. I kind of want to say I heard that vaguely, but I can't quote it on it. 3:30 a.m. and off to bed. Take care, Laura. Bye, Anthony. Thank you for coming. Every Friday night we do a video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out my other videos. But don't go back 2 years ago because my hair is kind of funny. But yeah, you can. We talk on WhatsApp for free every day. Talk to a person that lives in Belgium. Oh, cool. I live on the Belgian-French border. Belgium chocolate. Have you ever read The Lonely Bones? I barely read. I'm not going to lie. I literally barely read. Linda, anyone that's been with me for 2 years knows I have gone through many, many hair changes. Many. Falcon is gross to chew your nails. I agree. Sorry, back everyone. Something came up. Jerome, I do love chocolate, but my waist does not. Thank you, Linda. But you know what happened? I'll be honest. I mean, a lot of people, I swore I was never going to say anything, but I mean, now it's fine. I don't care anymore. But I had the reason, like, people would make fun of my hair or like, oh, why are you wearing wigs or anything else? I had Appalachia and my hair now grew back thicker than it's ever been. But that's why I wore so many different style wigs and, you know, why my hair was always different. In 2000 and middle of 2016 to like mid 2017, I had Appalachia. How I got it, I have no idea. Why it went away, I have no idea. But yeah, this is all mine and that's it. But it did. It grew back thicker than it ever was. I don't know, Marissa. I have no idea why I got it or what it was from. I would think my hair would have fell out a long time ago from stress. I don't know what it was, but I cried all the time. It's cool to do you the way you want. Love it. I agree. What is it? What is Appalachia? When your hair falls out in pieces and you'd have no idea why. That's what Appalachia is. I think it's called Appalachia. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. I could do everything else. Yeah, it's Appalachia, isn't it? To understand, there's actually a theory TH's family buried her body. Falcon, I do believe they buried her body. And I believe that they had, that it's possible, not definitively, but possible that they had her. Yeah, alopecia. That's it. Thank you, Phyllis. Thank you, Linda. Alopecia. Thank you. I'm telling you, I'm horrible with names. But yeah, like the whole top of my head was bald. It was bad. One of the kids who plays hockey from me had the same problem and wore wigs. I did. I wore wigs for like almost a year. I had a dog with it? Really? I didn't know dogs could get it. It's part of the reason I stopped doing videos too, is I just was miserable. I wouldn't even leave my house. And then my hair just grew back and it's like healthier than it's ever been. And it's thicker than it's ever been. So it was kind of paid off in the end. It is an autoimmune disease, an overactive immune. Too bad I don't have overactive thyroid. Make me lose weight like that. Grows back in patches, but he has no eyebrows. Yeah, mine just grew back fine. It's weird. Leave Marissa's nails alone. Oh, Phyllis, you had it too? Yeah, it's hard. It's mentally challenging. Do you saying that to help it grow? I did. I used a whole bunch of like stuff when it was falling out, and then I just said, screw it. You know, it is what it is, and maybe I'm going bald, and it just started growing back. Third time's a charm. Hello, I'm Kim. Nice to meet you again. Hi, Ziggy. So what bones are in the pit then? I believe that they took a portion of Teresa's bones and put them in the pit. I firmly believe that that's why the coroner was able to, you know, sign her death certificate like almost immediately. I think most of the bones were already there, honestly. Literally happened overnight. Woke up, it was all gone. Wow. No wanting any overactive thyroid. I'm a rheumatoid arthritis and have 3 open heart surgery that caused me a wow. That's a lot, Phyllis. And I'm glad you're here. I think you're fine in New York. You got smart. Should have stayed. It's too expensive. I didn't leave New York for any other reason. It was too expensive. I can't afford it. Not with 3 kids. But I miss it. I mean, all my friends and family are there. TH's family went along with that. Absolutely. If they knew that some of the bones were taken. But Falcon, there's no logical explanation why they found 1 tooth. Teeth and mouths and spines are how you recognize somebody. So for them to find one broken tooth, come on, that's ludicrous. Wow, Phyllis. That's a survivor, a true survivor. Buy wigs, Quentin. Come to PA, Laura. Actually, we're going to New York next year. Next summer. So I'll come into PA. What do you think of Peter Hyatt's analysis of SA? Concluded guilty. It was frustrating. Stephen never said I did not kill her or the police are planning evidence. I can't. Peter Hyatt, I don't remember his analysis of SA. But Stephen, did Stephen say I didn't kill her? He did say I didn't kill her. I had nothing to do with it. The police are planning evidence. He did. Totally blown away by this. Falcon, don't be blown away because it's true. I think the bones that were found were the few that could be found in the smelter. That's true too. I went to New York Christmas, just gone. Amazing. It is amazing. It's the greatest city in the world. It's just too expensive. What's blowing you away, Falcon? I'm not saying amazed, but obviously something is going on with these cops. But Jay, it's exactly what I said it was, and that's they don't want to look bad. Cops are always going to stick up for cops. I mean, that's a given. That's not a secret. But the fact that the high ups, they're not going to want their whole department to look bad, let alone make it twice that they're going to look bad, never happen. They're never going to allow it to happen. Speech language analysis by Peter Hyatt. Is that in Zellner's motion? I'm not remembering who you're talking about, TC. Was that that wasn't Zellner's, that was the original, right? I have to live in New York to find that job. E-man, I spent my whole life in New York. I was born and bred in New York. I left right after 9/11. I'm going to sit here dumbfounded. Falcon, what are you so dumbfounded over? New York next year for Thanksgiving. Always been my mother's dream. Aw, Patrick, that's nice. Falcon, what are you dumbfounded over? TC, honestly, I want to say I remember, but I don't. I'm not sure who Peter Hyatt is. And if I do, I don't remember it. Isn't there a photo of one of Teresa's brothers sifting for bones? Who could do that with your sister's bones? Yeah, he shouldn't have been sifting for bones, though. Falcon DH bones were in the pit. The forensic anthropologist Eisenberg did an awful job, but one mitochondrial DNA match by Colleen made a match to TH DNA down to 1 in a billion. Reservations 1 year ahead. Sorry, I write in French. I think Peter Hyatt did a lot on the McCann case too. Karen, who is Peter Hyatt? I'm not. It's not sticking out at me. What about talk that it's Cameron's bones? Spicy, I actually broke that. Me and Lynn Johnson broke that way long ago when my hair was blonde and long and put up before I lost it. And there was a connection, like her father, Teresa's real father is connected to, I don't remember totally, but Teresa's real father is connected to Teresa. If you look at my videos from 2016, it's called Holy Shit, the Bones of Teresa's. And Lynn had tracked this step by step by step. And we had it completely nailed down that these were Teresa's bones and that they were connected, and Kratz's letter stating that, oh, wow, there's a 60% match. But from that video in 2016, Carmen's brother got a hold of me and wanted to know more about the video. So me, Mike Ryan, Lynn, we're talking to him for a while. He was in the group for a while. He pretty much confirmed with us that Teresa's dad worked his ass off to pay for her cremation. And he worked like 2 jobs. It had nothing to do with the police. A lot of the rumors that we knew or thought were kind of squashed by her brother. And he ended up leaving in like 2017 when everything pretty much died down. But he didn't know a lot of what was going on. But he really straightened out a lot of stuff that we weren't sure about. Why would TH's family participate in the cover-up of her own daughter's murder? Falcon, you're a smart man. You can't answer that. I'm going to explain it. If you know, hands down, and by the way, Jerome, no, I don't play an instrument. I'm a good producer, though. If you know, hands down, that somebody killed your mom, but you can't prove it, it's one thing to know something. It's another thing to be able to prove something. If they can't prove Stephen Avery did it, hence why Brendan's involved, but they can't prove Stephen Avery did it. But, you know, Teresa was found in the middle of in her car in the middle of the woods on Cuss Road, or buried. How the fuck are they going to prove that it was Stephen Avery that did it? They can't. But if the cops who she trusts convinces her that it was Stephen Avery that did this, she's going to do whatever she can to nail Stephen Avery. That's logic. I just gave it to you, Falcon. Laid out. Although I want to have some of my sister's bones to bury, I wouldn't sit for them. Yeah, I should have never been on site anyway. TH is dead regardless if it killed her. Google Peter High and Stephen Avery. I definitely will, TZ. You got me interested. Because I don't remember it. Peter Hyatt and Stephen Avery. Oh, yeah, this is from 2015. That's why I don't remember it. Let me put this over the other monitor. Here it is. Statement announced to watch this documentary. All right, TC, I'm going to answer this step by step. Emotion versus analysis. There are many statements for analysis presented that the truth is able to be seen. This may be a larva's tooth of learning. A man convicted of rape, blah, blah, blah. Police are deceptive. Emotion versus analysis. The man spent 18 years in prison. He's going to be emotionless. You can't be all teary-eyed and emotional when you spend 18 years in prison, especially when you grow up like Stephen Avery. His statements show the truth. What his name is? See if to discern. I think I'm reading the wrong thing, though. It says statement analysis. There we go. I told you flexibility, but just I did not. It's a reliable denial and all the clips. I don't think it's. I don't know. I have to look more into it, but I don't agree with this guy. I think too many factors come into reading stuff like this. Factors meaning how they grew up, what kind of life they had, what kind of nurturing they had. Were they criminals prior? Did they do anything wrong? Do they know the law? Do they not know the law? So I don't think it's a fair analysis at all. And like even Marty Tankliff said, you know, when I asked him, are you bitter? He spent 17 years and he said, how could you not be bitter? And he grew up in a very, very, very wealthy family. You know, he was raised right. Stephen Avery was not. First two words I filed the pause. I'm sorry. We know. I mean, I wouldn't compare Stephen Avery to Casey Anthony. And his person is like it if state first. I did not kill Teresa Halbach. The reason why I don't agree with that, Falcon, is because I did not kill Teresa Halbach, but he's already trying to hide. Like, if he said that, people would turn around and say, well, that means he did do, and he's just in denial. So I disagree. Saying law enforcement convinced the Halbach's family. That's right, Running Fox. It's exactly right. I totally agree, Karen, that it's dangerous to overuse psychology in criminal cases. So it depends on the person. That's exactly what I'm saying. Hyatt does statement analysis. I never followed the McCann case. I was never that interested in it. I don't know why. I'm very picky about cases that I like. Why wouldn't they want to find the actual killer? Falcon, they believe they found the actual killer. They believe Stephen Avery is the actual killer. Now it's just a matter of proving it. So Cameron was a cousin. Ziggy, it's like she was like a fourth cousin or a fifth cousin. They weren't like, first or second cousins. It was like some distant cousin. A new channel's case that I found this week is talking a lot about Ricky, Carmen, and Teresa and the very weird things that link them all. I didn't know Ricky was connected to Carmen or Teresa. I really do think they found her in the lab and they had her cremated, especially since Bushman's in-laws have crematoria. I agree, Shauna. There's definitely something to that. I am right there with you on that. I agree with that. It's such a big way. I know I'd want to know for sure who did it. But they believe Stephen Avery did it. There's no reason for them to not believe the cops. They believe Stephen Avery did it. Avery was tearing emotional at the family camera saying the country did. Yeah. I agree. I've been watching that too. Very interesting. Here's the Madeleine McCain films that I found. And he did meet with Hyatt. Hyatt does statement analysis. All right, now I'm backtracking. Laura, we enjoy the show, but I need to translate for my friends here. Joseph, I missed your question. All right, Falcon, did Fassbender intentionally mislabel the Vili DVDs as Brendan's computer? Do you agree that Bobby did the gruesome internet searches? Why don't you want to find the real killer? Wow, Omega? Oh, Omega Lead, I think you were on something. What I missed from Omega? I believe Teresa was murdered for reasons relating to her side business of taking nude pictures, and the family was extremely embarrassed by this and were more than happy to go along with the police. Omega, I do agree with you, but I also think they do believe Stephen Avery did it. As long as they believe Stephen Avery did it, nothing else matters. 30 million with no insurance coverage would do a lot, Falcon, and maybe they told the Halbachs he killed her. They just need to make it stick. That's exactly right. Thank you, Running Fox. Jerome, if you teach me French, I don't know how good my New York accent will do in French. In fact, the idea that the prosecution did actually try to bamboozle the defense now seems suddenly reasonable, plausible, reality-based. Falcon, are you being sarcastic or serious? But they have to see and wonder all the same things that we are talking about, the things that don't add up. Yes, it's all a setup and a corrupt prosecution. But Running Fox, I think this is different than the prosecution. I don't think Kratz is a puppet master at all. I really am convinced after reading Farrick's book that Bushman and Kisorik, I got that right. Kisorik came out of retirement and said, yo, this has to stop. Called Bushman out of retirement to go to Cush Road. That's where everything happened. That's where she was found. I'm convinced of this. Prosecution are puppets. They're nothing more than puppets. Every single one of them knew, I'm sorry, every single one of them believes Stephen Avery did it. So because they believe Stephen Avery did it, well, now they have to come after him. Because Stephen Avery did it, now they have to, hone in on it. Kratz is a fucking puppet. He's a little puppet. That's all he was. Teach me English, I'll teach you French. Bonjour and croissant. I can say that. My son's at his girlfriend's house, so I have him teach me. Parlez-vous français? How's that? Because someone is I nearly passed out when I read your response. Thank you for your honest response. Someone has told me that the Halbach family went along with the cover-up of their daughter's murder. As a result, I now concede all of your points. Falcon, are you being sarcastic or serious? I can't tell. I almost feel like he's being sarcastic. I told you that the Halbach family went along with the cover-up because they believe that they did it. Brendan Dass's confession might have been coerced. In fact, more than probably. Okay. So how about the whole thing where they wouldn't let the coroner go see the bones? Louis, on the flip side of that, though, it's because of the lawsuit. Supposedly, it's because of the lawsuit. That's why. But something else I picked up recently, which I did not know or did not remember, that Teresa's, the coroner from Calumet, she went by a picture. She didn't do it she didn't actually see the bones. She judged those bones based on a picture. I don't remember if I read that in Farrick's book or where I heard it. But yeah, that's where, that's how she did those bones. She never even looked at them personally. Laura, I think I like you, but this could be Zellner's only lost case because I don't think anyone realized how big this thing is. Jay, I'm not disagreeing with you. That's why I'm saying if anyone can do it, she can. But if she can't do it, it's not because Stephen Avery's guilty, which is why I don't know she says it all the time, where she's like, well, if I can't get him out, it means he's guilty. I thought that was the dumbest statement I ever heard from her because, no, you're not going to be able to get him out because the state is that corrupt. So I'm not disagreeing with you, Jay. Sure, as long as we're going with the Halbachs, we're in on it. What the hell? Falcon, listen to me. You're confusing things. The Halbachs believed that Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey were guilty, or at least Stephen Avery. The cops made sure that this was embedded in their head. If someone brutally murdered your daughter, do you really think you care if someone's involved in a cover-up? If you know that that's the only way that you're going to get justice, think for a second. You're a graphic designer. You can't design something without having a base. If no matter what you do, that base will not connect, you have to come up with plan B. I'm giving you a totally bad example, but it sounded right when I first popped it in my head. Speaking a language that you would understand, but it went out the window. But if you believe someone is guilty, you're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that they get convicted of that crime, period. Contact me or go to an international channel. Well, Jerome, you can still get translate. It does translate, doesn't it? I don't know about a live feed translate, though. Exactly, Karen. The Halbachs went along with the cover-up, but they didn't necessarily know it was a cover-up. Laura had a lot to lose if he won. Oh, police had a lot to lose if he won the lawsuit. TH family could have been paid to go along with setting up as. I don't think anyone was paid. By going along with the false cover-up. Falcon, they did not believe it was a false cover-up. They believed Stephen Avery was the killer. if I knew that somebody killed my kid and I didn't kill them first, I'm going to do whatever I can to get this guy in jail, because there is nothing worse than not being able to get justice. There's nothing worse than a jury having this guy walk, or having both guys walk, because there's not enough evidence. It happens all the time. They did not want that to happen. Jerome, your English is fine. Falcon is a smart guy, is resistant to persuasion, and speaks in tax sentences when defending broken theories. I want the real Falcon answers to my 3 questions. Something's bugging me about the key. I recall Allie saying it may have been new. Aside from it being planted, there's just something bugging me. Kevin, what's actually bugging you about it? Exactly, James. To them, Avery did it. There's no question about it. The police told me the local crime boy, druggie, whatever. I believe them. That's human. I agree, Jay. They inadvertently went along cover-up by agreeing that S.A. was the killer. Because, I mean, think about it. You have 2 different police stations telling you Stephen Avery did it. Stephen Avery did it. Stephen Avery did it. Because Kosarik and, I was going to say Falcon, Kosarik and Bushman already cleaned up Bush Road. Already cleaned up Cush Road. So whatever bones she had or whatever they found, that was gone by the time the 4th came. So by the time the 4th came, the cover-up had already started, but nobody knew it was a cover-up. I don't even think Kratz knew it was a cover-up. I don't think any of them knew it was a cover-up, except Kosarik and Bushman. They knew it was a cover-up because they're the ones that started it. The police told me a local crime by drug, I believe them. Was the key even tested in the ignition? Yeah, the key was tested because they used it for something. I don't remember what. The key did work, which goes back to the theory. The key was most likely the key that Ryan had. And in my own theory, the key that Ryan drove. I mean, how Ryan drove the car, which is how he found the day planner. Why was Mike Hava grieving before they supposedly knew what happened to Teresa? I don't think Mike had anything to do with the killing or anything. Like, some people have theorized that, Mike Havok's the killer. I never believed that. But even in court, if you watch him in court, he's like, make sure you put this rapist, killist. It was so weird. I don't know how to explain it. Just the way he said it was just weird. I do not believe it was Ed Edwards, but using he was too old and frail to do it is a weak defense. If I thought he did kill TH, I would want to see better proof that it wasn't him. Ziggy, you want the proof that Ed Edwards has nothing to do with most of these cases? Cameron is a fucking liar. The real timeline of Ed Edwards, I mean, anyone can say I killed 10 people of crimes that were never solved. Anyone can do it. Cameron just decided to write a book and put in all these lies because the real timeline of Ed Edwards has nothing to do with what Cameron's timeline is. Cameron just connected him to every high-profile attorney because he wanted to make money and sell books. I did some research on this. He's stuck on Edwards because he made money on him. Because how easy is it to write a book and say that this guy did, every crime every high-profile case that's never been solved? Ed Edwards was an idiot. He killed like 3 people, and they were all like in one shot. I mean, he was a small-time robber. Worst FBI gave it. Totally, Marissa. Laura and I have been the Zodiac. Andy used to be the Zodiac, but haven't seen him in a while. Exactly right. Kiwi's obviously cleaned after Ryan used it. 100%. Laura, do you do painting? Would have the artist style. I'm an artist in different ways. I don't paint. I don't draw. I write, but I don't paint or draw or anything. But I am extremely creative. but not with like fine arts. If Ryan drove the RAV4 with the key, then his DNA would be on it. Do you think that they tested for Ryan's DNA? Never happened. Now, could Zellner test for DNA? I don't know if it lasts that long, but he could have. But they were never going to test Ryan for DNA. Ryan's DNA is all over that crime scene. James, what are we agreeing to disagree? So far out there, I'm not even sure how to. Yeah, I think we're all just gonna have to disagree. Falcon, what don't you understand? See, Falcon is the exact guilter that I talk about all the time. Not him personally, but his mentality. They are so smart that they're stupid. They are so smart that Falcon's probably extremely educated, extremely well-versed, probably a very good student in school, graduated college, maybe top of his class, very versed in the world, very educated. But because he's like that, he's narrow. His brain doesn't think outside the box. He can't comprehend, and there's a lot of them out there like this. He can't comprehend something that's not direct. Mathematical people, everything's got a reason. He does computers. He does, coding. Coding there's no way around coding. It's exact. It's mathematical and it's exact. And it has to be exact. No, X plus Y is going to equal Z in coding no matter what. You can't flip it. It's got to be that way. That's his way he thinks. Because he thinks like that, he can't see it any other way. That's why, Falcon, you're having the hardest time seeing this. It is, to me and others, it's so blatantly obvious that that's what happened, but that's how my brain thinks. So it doesn't make your brain wrong, because your IQ is probably double of mine. You're probably way book smarter than me, but you probably couldn't survive in the middle of the desert in the middle of the night for a month, where I could, because I would think what to do. So that's my opinion. I still love you, Falcon. Falcon's having a tough night. Poetry, Jim Morrison style. Nah, not really. All smarts in the world. But Patrick, it's not common sense. It's not common sense. It's more of just the way they think. Because I know people like that have common sense, but they don't think outside. Falcon, to me, is extremely mathematical. Things are one way. If you have to get from point A to point B, there's a direct way. He's probably very big into Occam's theory or Occam's razor. And if you don't know what that is, that means that the most obvious answer is the one that's correct, which I can disprove all day. But that's his way of thinking. So it doesn't mean he doesn't have common sense. It just means his brain doesn't think outside the box. Falcon is our Smigo. Falcon, what do you think about the wax material on the bullet being mixed in the wood particles? B&W only, no gray, in exact black and white only. If you try, and my daughter's like that. Like, I asked my 11-year-old, the one you hear playing a game, but I asked him, I said, if I'm not home when you get home, how are you going to get in the house? Go through the garage? I asked my daughter, who's a straight A student, oh, I don't know, I'm going to look for a key. And she's almost 14. I don't know, I'll look for a key. Well, what if you don't have your key? I don't know, I guess I'll call you. Dumby, just go through the garage. Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that. That's just like someone that thinks outside the box and someone that doesn't. Sure, I killed maybe brain cells. It's critical thinking with an open mind you need to see this Falcon. See, but running facts, to me, the way most of us think, to me, it's not common sense. It's not even critical thinking. To me, it's obvious. My brain thinks this is blatantly obvious. Like, I want to bang Falcon's head against the wall. Like, how do you not see this? But that's because that's how I think. I think except for coding, there's a alternative route to everything. Nothing is straightforward. Things have possibilities. That's how I see it. Analytical, not mathematical. Falcon is like one of the doctors I work and saw the series. He's guilty because the family is creepy. That's their answer. It's very true. The wax substance could be the wax that was used to hold the fragment to be looked at under a microscope. Coding gives me headaches. Coding's tough. I'm self-taught coder. It's tough. Yeah, maybe analytical, not critical thinking. Because even with coding spicy, I'm like, I wonder what happens if I mix this up. Yeah, it doesn't work. You can't mix things up. It has to be so direct, and it's annoying. Sorry, I'm listening. Just got busy with a friend, Laura. That's okay, Marissa. Everyone's being good. What will Falcon do say when ST gets out? Jay, it's funny that you say that because I say that a lot. Like, I wonder what's going to happen when they get out. Like, seriously, what if Gilter's going to say then? That's fine, Laura. My argument is what you are suggesting is highly speculative. There's no evidence I can see it supports it. Falcon, I'm going to give that right back to you. Brendan being in jail for 12 years with absolutely no ounce of evidence is also highly speculative. But he's been sitting in jail for almost 12 years because of it. Not 1 ounce of DNA. The story Kratz gives doesn't even coincide with what happened to Brendan. So yeah, I can reverse that on you and say that's highly speculative as well. It could be, but Angie says, Falcon, I don't buy the theory either. We're not being good. We're bashing Falcon. We're not bashing Falcon. And I recently conceded that I may have been wrong about Brendan. So now you think Brendan's guilty. I never remember the olden days when in order to sign into your computer desktop, you had a DOS prompt. So yeah, I do remember that. Travis hasn't said anything in a while. I don't even know if he came over to the new room. Sherry Cullen was at the lab. Was obviously another shill. No, I think Brendan may be innocent. Think when they get out should Ben. Now we got 2 guilters. Should be if they get out. Welcome, Ben. Falcon, I have a science degree and I'm doing a PhD in public health. Good for you, Karen. I too demand evidence, but we view its definition differently. I see outside the triangle. The only thing that I see is that Zellner is never going to get them out based on any other case like she's ever had. She's got to get through the corruption first. If she can do that, she will get them out. I begin to believe that he may have been coerced, duped, Brendan, that is. But Falcon, they needed Brendan to nail Steven. They couldn't get Steven without Brendan. They had to. Brendan was, all right, Falcon, let me lay it out like this. Steven was already in jail on this gun charge, but they didn't have enough evidence to get him. And they figured with Steven's public defenders, it was no big deal. Then in February, 2 months before the trial started, now comes Dean and Buting, who were supposedly these top-notch attorneys. The prosecution knew they were not getting through these attorneys because they were really good attorneys. Therefore, they had to find something to nail in the coffin and make sure that Steven went away. And the only way to do that was to bring in somebody else with a confession. So they went through their notes. They took the dumbest person they could find. I bet we can convince him into a confession. They did whatever they could, and hence, lo and behold, what comes out now? Now Brendan, 1 month later, has a confession, and that would be almost impossible for Buting and Strang to get around. That's how Brendan even got involved. Hey, Ben. Was Brendan's first interview recorded? I don't know about the first, the last, or anything, but I do know that Brendan's, many of Brendan's interviews were not. They drilled all the Dassey boys and honed in on the easiest marks. Suggestible, slow Brendan. Absolutely. Falcon by being on Laura's page. I missed that. KK had a Denny in play. But She-Devil, Laura Rubber Ducky is coming in. She's the one I sent you. LI is of today. Okay. Gloria brainwashed Falcon. Oh, I liked Rubby Ducky. Someone said something. Laura, would you agree, interested in making a live video with Eric Host and also Dave B? Sure. But me and Dave B go head to head a lot. We agree on almost nothing. So let's just put that out there. I love Dave. I really do. But we don't agree on a lot. He's very conspiracy oriented and I'm not. I'm more evidence based than conspiracy oriented. But I love him and I will definitely do a show with him. But you may see some fighting or disagreeing. Fact, and he was. You can see him. They fed him the facts. Absolutely. Oh, that's what I was answering. She-Devil. The Denny is. Everyone thinks the Denny is so much more than it was. Most murder trials in Wisconsin have Denny motions. All a Denny does, and I have a video for this. All a Denny does is stop somebody from saying Bobby did it, Scott did it. It stops from putting reasonable doubt in the jury's mind without proof. There were 2 or 3 people that if Dumb and Dumber would have done their job right, they would have been able to get through the Denny motion. But because they didn't do their job right, they couldn't get past it. So the Denny motion is not as significant as people want it to be. I think a lot of people know, even the jury, they got the how he did it wrong and they got the right guy. No, Ben, most people don't know that. I think the idea that the Hawbucks went along with the cover-up is a major conspiracy. Oh, please, Falcon. It's not conspiracy. It's common sense. It's totally common sense. They didn't believe it was a conspiracy theory. They believed that it was Stephen who killed their daughter, and then Brendan who killed their daughter. Do you not remember Kratz's press conference? Kratz's press conference would put anybody in a setup mode. I mean, it's just crazy to think otherwise. First videotape. And also, Fallon, you have absolutely no idea what was said to the Hawbucks. Why was Ryan at the crime scene like 12 different times? I don't remember the exact number, but like 12 different times. Why was the ex-boyfriend never charged? Why was Bobby Dassey never charged? Why was Scott Taddick has a horrible record before 2005, and then all of a sudden in 2005, there's nothing. Didn't even get a traffic ticket. The whole thing makes no sense. And again, you have to connect all the dots. You can't look at one specific thing and say, that's what happened. You have to connect the dots. And the dots do not connect correctly. Laura, what's my, Falcon, what's my evidence for what? Yeah, exactly. Karen's saying it right. They didn't go along with anything. We don't know what was said to them. I have no idea what was said to them. But you want my proof of why was Ryan at the crime scene? There's police logs of that. Ryan even lied about being at the crime scene. There's total logs of it in CASA from 2 years ago. I know, right, Karen? It is frustrating. I don't buy they planted the blood. Maybe they planted the bullet. Ben, stop right there. If you believe they planted something, then the whole fucking case is innocent. You can't pick and choose what stuff to plant and what stuff not to plant. You can't say, well, maybe they planted this, but that's real. That's bullshit. You either plant something or you plan nothing. You either do a legit case or you don't do one at all. You can't plant partial evidence and think he's still guilty. That's not how our system was set up, and it shouldn't be set up like that. Has anyone ever looked into Hillegas bank records? I don't believe so. Why was Ryan not the first target? Nobody knows. He thinks we are saying it was premeditated. That's what I'm saying. Like he's got to think outside. Has anyone ever looked in? Sorry, Karen. What's up, Falcon? They got played by the cops, Falcon. I agree, James. They did get played by the cops. Ryan signed in as Killigas. How twisted is that? No, he didn't. The whole camera given to specific people is also so obvious. That's another thing. How did she find the car in 5 minutes? It's retarded. They planted everything or they planted nothing. I agree with that. Ryan Hillegas was on the property many times. He lied about his name. Falcon, they didn't go along with the cover-up. They went along with S.A. did it. They didn't know that Ellie came up with the cover-up to say S.A. did it. That's very true. Phyllis worded that beautifully. I'm going to repeat that. They didn't go along with the cover-up. They went along with Stephen Avery did it. They didn't know that Ellie came up with the cover-up to say that Stephen Avery did it. Very well said. Ben, okay, they didn't plant the bullet. Ben, you know damn well they planted evidence. Yes, he did. It's in MAM. Did he? I don't remember that. Kilgoss, PI Pam of God, exactly. I totally agree with you, Laura. Thank you, Jerome. There's no way that Pam could have found that car that fast. Absolutely impossible. On a lot of 3,000. Ryan was jealous about TH doing a three-way. But Kevin, again, according to phone records, Ryan was not stalking Teresa. Teresa was actually calling him a hell of a lot more than he was calling her. I have a feeling that Teresa was trying to get help from Ryan. This is total speculation. But looking at the phone records, that she was trying to get help from Ryan, not anything else. Probably was the difference between it if should have been found guilty on that evidence. If I think he probably did it. Two different things. Ben, but what makes you think he did it? Because he was a lowlife? Because he was scummy? Because he was a woman beater? So was Tadic. The Hobbits gave them bones to plant. Hold up, Falcon. Now you go. All right. Get out of your one-way narrow thinking. Nobody said the Hobbits gave them bones. The Hobbits may not even fucking know about the bones. The Hobbits could have no idea that they took the bones. It was one tooth. You can't just incinerate everything but one tooth. But you can tell a coroner to take out a tooth in the back and nobody would know. It wasn't a front tooth. It wasn't like it was one of her front teeth. It was like a back molar or something. That's important to remember. If the Hobbits get brainwashed, I believe they brainwashed him too. Oh, Louis, it's all good. Falcon's been around for a long time. Falcon will love me. I'll love Falcon. The one thing I don't understand is once they stuck the bigger battery in the Rev and got it. Yeah. All right. Ben and Falcon. I keep forgetting about this. What about the battery? Why did Zelna realize that the battery that was used was a cop's battery? How does that happen? On top of that, they had Teresa's car in custody on November 3rd. It was in police custody. There is records of this. This is not made up. This is not speculation. There is records of this. How is that possible then? Ben, you did do it. Stay under the cover of the darkness, then rush out of quick. Exactly. Colburn is number suspect. What do you think? Colburn didn't do it. None of the cops did it. Oh. Cops say a chance to kill two birds with one stone. Yeah, but I don't think Colburn did. I don't think he's involved in the kill. I don't think any of them are that involved in the killing. Exactly. Colburn was a puppet. I'm telling you guys, the puppet masters are Kosarik, Bushman, and Peterson. Those are your puppet masters. They are the only ones that know Stephen Avery and Brendan was set up. Everybody else are little puppets that were made to believe Stephen Avery's the killer. Now we have to prove it. They have the Packers. They're great. Thank you, Tim. I'm under the impression someone gave the Hallbucks that the Hallbucks gave the investigative stuff to plant. No, Falcon. No. Not even remotely close. The Hallbucks didn't say here, hey, here's your use Teresa's bones. They had no clue. And there's also a letter that Kratz wrote to the coroner, totally surprised that 60% of whatever matched the bones. Why would you be surprised of this? Did you not think the bones were hers? Like, there's just so many little things that don't make sense. I agree, but he can play two roles at the same time. Karen Peterson is the sheriff. He was the one in charge at the time. And Peterson was another one of Kosorik's, what are they called? Another one of Kosorik's peeps. I can't think of the right word. You ain't listening. Who's not listening? Cops saw a chance to kill two birds with one stone. What am I not listening? I don't believe the cops did it. I believe they're puppet masters, but I don't believe they killed anybody. There's nothing that'll make me believe the cops are in on it as far as killing someone. Kara grew up in Manitowoc, didn't realize, and told AC about the Rav till he watches the doc, then text Stinky. Yeah, but that was on the 4th. This is where I have a hard time connecting the dots. She-Devil, it's this guy said that he found it on the 4th. Colburn calls it in on the 3rd, I believe. But the police report shows that the car was in custody on the 3rd and Teresa was missing. I have a video for that too, from 2 years ago. And it's right there. Colburn calls in plates, but the car was already in custody on the 4th. So that's where it gets confusing. That's where I can't seem to connect the dots with this other guy and how important this other guy was. Do you vape? No, I have nicotine. It's 6 milligrams. Something about the bullet had same evidence tag as a bullet in evidence prior to property search, right? Yeah, it was one of the bullets. FL. I'm not the bullet expert, but it was one of FL or something. We're saying that FL, one of the bullets was in custody, but it had no DNA, no nothing on it. And then the one they found after Brendan said it, that's the one that had something on it, if I remember correctly. James, you didn't get me upset. Thank you, Kevin. FL21. I'm not good with details. I'm not going to lie. I couldn't tell you anything from a movie I watched yesterday. I mean, speaking of movies, don't watch Halloween. It was awful. It's another way to say, and so they went ahead and gave them their daughter's bones to sprinkle around. Falcon, no. Nobody said that. I will never say that. I never said that. Nobody here has said that. Nobody's saying that they did that because they did not do that. They probably didn't even know that they took a tooth, or they probably didn't even know that they took bones. FL was in evidence way back November 21st. March 2nd, they claimed they find bullet FL in Avery's garage. All right, so Running Fox explained it. Whoever asked, bullet FL was in evidence way back November 21st, but March 2nd, they claimed they find bullet FL in Avery's garage after Brennan confessed. Thank you, Running Fox. Falcon, you get these ideas, but not from here. What kind of vape is that? It's a Captain. Big Captain. Captain Joy. iJoy. Falcon, if your child was murdered, Ellie comes to you and says they know who did it, but cannot make it stick. He got out before. Could you see it then? Falcon, of course. Absolutely. I don't believe the cops killed her. I think they found her in a car. I don't know if they found her in a car. Thank you, Ben. The bones weren't moved to Avery's burn pit. They were moved from Avery's. The bones weren't moved. Playlist is here. Wow, I'm shocked. The bones weren't moved to Avery's burn pit. They were moved from Avery's burn pit. That's false, Playlist. Lord, you know the bullet FL was recovering on November 22nd. There was a report. No, there is a report that FL was, I think it was November 21st. Yes, I did say that, but didn't mean that her parents actually knew. What's up, Fun? If one murder happens a year in that area, how does one happen a week before Ellie was going to court for SA lawsuit? Too suspicious. Never say never about a cop killing someone. Fun, I agree with you, but I just don't think they killed Teresa. See, I'll explain Courtney after. It's a long story. I was impressed with your host. Thank you, Ben. Nobody in here said that, Falcon. Yeah, I said that a bunch. Everyone type Kim, please. Kim. I see the problem, Falcon. You take comment completely out of context and won't give it up. Oh my God, I'm dying here. Hi, Purple. Hey, Fun. But Karen, that's what I mean about like one-way thinking. They just think it's my ex-boyfriend's like this. It drives me insane. He doesn't know how to think outside. Like it's just one way. And he's extremely smart, but it's just one-way thinking. It's tough. I know you, Kim Matthews. I get it. I'll explain Courtney after. I believe Teresa was murdered for reasons relating to her side business, taking in pictures, family extremely embarrassed. All right, Falcon. So since you didn't understand what he meant by that people in the porn business get called all the time, but until John Ferrick's book, most of us did not know that. So now that it's wide open, maybe her family didn't want anyone knowing that that's what she did or that she was photographing people. And maybe somehow that got her killed. That's a perfectly logical explanation that Omega gave. Like, it's perfectly logical. I saw that theory running. Someone floated. It's a wrong theory is all. iPhone not drive you insane. Spammer with my name, everyone. Where is Zellner at with her investigation? She's just trying to get an evidentiary hearing. That's all she wants. Falcon, what was meant by what? Marissa, why can't I see Joseph? Joseph, where'd you go? Bones are difficult for Avery to burn in his burn pit, so we removed the bones and worm found on his burn pit to other places where the dog sit on. Come on, Playlist, really? There is absolutely no proof of that. There's not even Steven's fingerprints on the burn barrels. And why would he burn him in Dassey's burn? And the family is extremely embarrassed by this, and we're more than happy to go along. I don't think he said that they were more than happy to go along. I don't think that's quite what he meant. That's not how I took it. Oh, did I miss something by the phrase, and we're more than happy to go along? I think maybe he was just putting 2 in 1. Joseph, are you typing? If so, we can't see you. Reboot. Phoebe, can we put people on ignore? Yeah, but I would know if it was on ignore. You read into things wrong. James, who reads into things wrong? Me? Is Rubber Ducky here? That was a direct quote. There are bones found in 4 locations. Did someone just walk around dropping bones? Ben, yes, you can as an individual. Oh, Falcon. I thought you meant me, James. I agree, though. I think he's totally reading it wrong. Avery threw the remaining bones that were in his pit in the Dassey burn barrel. Prior to that, smashed the bones in his pit with a shovel. Really, playlist? And where did this theory come from? Where'd the shovel come into play? Just getting back, still sitting at the hospital. My Annie seems like, I'm sorry, Rebecca. Phoebe must have done that to me. Would that keep me from seeing him? I haven't seen him in a little while, Ben. He was here earlier. What are we talking about? Talking about bones. And we're more than happy to go along. It's cut and paste of what was said. Bones have what seem to be cut marks. Yeah, because they probably cut her up trying to get her into a burn barrel or the smelter or a car, wherever they cut her up from. Ben Joseph isn't here at the moment. No one can see him typing. Each person can put someone on ignore due to the shovel. Playlist. There was never any word that a shovel was even involved. A shovel was found in the burn pit, but whatever. You don't need to smash bones. And the smell of a burning body did not happen until November 1st. It did not even happen on October 31st. You were hilarious. Why am I hilarious, Kevin? I'm not trying to be funny. Yeah, Ben, I haven't seen it. He was here before. To conceal bones, you'd smash him. Playlist. But you're making this theory up. That's not based on evidence. I did not know that you can smash bones and all of a sudden make them disappear. Stephen Avery was a short little midget. I don't think he had much strength in him, where he's able to smash bones by hand and none of them go flying anywhere. No little pieces go flying anywhere. And why he only smashed some of them if he supposedly burned this whole body, it doesn't make sense. Who said they smelled a burning body? Louis, nobody did, but on November 1st, there was a fire somewhere and the bones smell, and they said there was a really, really bad smell somewhere on Cuss Road. Cuss Road. She was 100% burned at the smelter. Is there evidence of that? If so, it's pretty obvious that Scott did the burning. Gilters, what is your opinion of the RAV4 and the wrong battery belonging to a cop? I agree. Why don't you make dreadlocks? It would be great. I'm a little old for dreadlocks. Thanks, Running Fox. The evidence is the locations the bones were found or the dogs hit on. The dogs hit on bones on Cuss Road. They did not originally hit on bones in Avery's property. Players to conceal bones. You would bag them, drive them to dumpster behind 7-Eleven and dump them, not leave them in your own backyard. Kevin, I could not agree more. I totally agree with you. Or if you're going to smash him, you put him in a smasher. You don't use a shovel. He had a smasher right next to him. Cry Frank, I've never paid attention to the battery part of the case because it's new, actually, Ben. Playlist just wants to play. I'm happy Playlist is here. He's been with me since the beginning, and he's always been really respectful, and I don't think he's ever come to a live show before, so I am glad he's here. Thanks, Jerome. I'm far from perfect, though. Burning rubber conceal playlist. Have you ever smelled a burning body? I have through 9/11. Trust me, it does not smell like burning rubber at all whatsoever. The smell of burning hair lives with you forever. The smell of burning skin lives with you forever. I will never forget the smell. No amount of rubber smells like burning blood, burning bones, and burning hair. Never happened. Body was likely dismembered over the Cuss Road site where I believe the burning occurred. I agree with that. I'll let it go for now, but I'm going to rewatch this later and timestamp where you said you thought the Hobbits gave them something. That's not what I said, Falcon. For the 19th time, let me say it again. They did not know that Stephen Avery was set up. They believe that Stephen Avery was the murderer and Brendan. So they believe that Stephen Avery's the murderer, but the police can't prove it, two things are going to happen. You're either going to look the other way and allow the police to do whatever they need to do because you want a conviction, or you're going to let Stephen Avery walk because there's no evidence. If it's your child, tell me what you would do. Nothing more needs to be said. I agree, Kevin. It is the worst smell ever. It could not conceal it. I totally agree, Fox. KZ tweeted there was a foul homeless burning a Manitowoc gravel pit on 10/31. It was actually November 1st, not 10/31. The note and who she is considering as a guilty person working there. And that's the other thing. You cannot forget, and Irikos pointed this out. You cannot forget that that Kratz said that Teresa died on October 31st only if you believe that Stephen Avery is the killer. The fuck does that mean? That means that even they know Stephen Avery may not be the killer. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. Why all the commonly burned deer heads and parts up there after slaughter? Same smell. It's not the burning deer head is not the same smell as human. Maybe it is. I don't know. I never smelled the deer burn. Cool part is you can watch this later in the chat too. KZ tweeted that there was a the Arizona salvage. I'm sure they sold used batteries along with other batteries, making it easier for Bobby and Scott to take. I still don't get the whole battery thing, though. You are the little sister of Alanis Morissette. Jerome, my whole life, I've heard Alanis Morissette and Veruca Balk. Everyone always said I look like Veruca Balk, too. If you don't know who she is, look her up. 3:30, what country is that? Apparently he was working there at 3 a.m. It's Eleanor's proof he was working there at the time. Not sure if I'm correct on that, though. Patrick, the battery was tracked and she knows who purchased it. Regardless, she can't remove each and every bone and attempt to conceal them at 7-Eleven. What's my favorite rock band? Oh, there's too many to name. My all-time favorite or like my current favorite? Because there's a difference. I come outside, have a puff burnt my bangs. I like a lot of different bands, Ben. I like everything from Motley Crue is my heart, but I mean, I love Theory of a Dead Man. I love Seether. Seether, I would say, is probably my all-time favorite. Nah, I'm not into that stuff, Jerome. That's old. Case anyone needs to know for the future, I got a 70 witness. Why, Rebecca? The Doors. I don't like classic rock. I know it sounds crazy. I just don't. I am one of those who worship Bob Dylan. Can I hear your theory of what happened to Teresa? What originally happened to Teresa, I couldn't even tell you. I have no idea. Um, do I think, somebody killed her? Absolutely. Do I think that they found her on Cuss Road, either chopped up or found her buried, or they found her dismembered, buried in the ground in the white, I think it was white cloth or a white bag that stuck up? Yes, that I believe. Who killed her? I don't have a clue, but I know it wasn't Steven, and I certainly know it wasn't Brendan. I've always believed uh, Scott and Bobby did it. I also always believe that Mike O was involved with Bobby. This is theory I've had for over 2 years. How they did it, why they did it, that I don't know, and I wouldn't even try to guess. Ben, I already said Seether is probably my favorite. Van Halen and Aerosmith, they're old. I mean, I'm old, but not like that. Dogs hit on Cuss Road initially. That's exactly right. Dogs don't care who murdered who. That's true. Did the dogs hit on Bobby's house? I don't remember. I want to say they went right to the burn barrels. They didn't go in the house, no. If you're talking like outside the trailers, no, I don't believe so. When you find out what was on Bobby's computer, it should have been game, set, match. But they didn't want it to be Bobby. They wanted it to be Steven. The only way they could be Steven is if they had this, his Bobby's stupid, brother who didn't know any better. Why didn't they just frame Steven with drugs? Because Steven didn't do drugs. Elliot put the battery in the RAV4 at the crime lab. I know. But playlist, they wouldn't need to put the battery in at the crime lab. That doesn't make any sense. I know, but they hid that vital evidence. I sell car batteries for a living in Wisconsin. Not many mark out the barcode. Steven didn't do murder either. That's true, Karen. Dogs were hearing to BOD's garage when the Avery dogs started getting aggressive, so they pulled back. Bringing up that point, I just watched again. Apparently, I misheard you. My apologies. Thank you, Falcon. Phyllis, somebody said something a while ago that I have to agree with. Is that, and this is like 2 years ago. I don't even remember who said it or where I saw it, but they had like 100 FBI agents who get through meth labs and everything else. So you're going to sit here and tell me that they were so worried about, Stephen Avery's dog? Give me a break. So that whole theory that they had to pull back, I don't buy that. I think I'm behind lagging on the chat. Nah, Ben, you're doing pretty good. Falcon, you're awesome. Laura, did you hear Therese cover up agent theory? Yes, do you think about that? What cover up agent theory? The what's her name? Kathy girl. I already did a video on that, Jerome. I don't think it had anything to do with Teresa or Steven. I think they just happened to get lucky that she happened to be there undercover for something. And yeah, Kathy, I did a video on that a couple of weeks ago. That it was like almost coincidence. What story TH video? Why'd she make that video? And how long before she supposedly was murdered did she make it? It was a couple of years. Supposedly she did it for a school project. Hey Mick, IMFAO at playlist battery. I don't buy it either. And I like playlists, but I don't buy that either. It doesn't make sense. Joseph, Ben was looking for you. Did I miss question? Where did you guys all go? Joseph left. Phoebe left. Marissa left. You guys don't love me. I really made all of my points. Ben, did you see Joseph is back? I don't believe the Hobbit had a funeral for a body and looked the other way. I thought Kathy was... All right. Falcon. Think about it like this, okay? What if they buried Teresa? Okay? Just give it, they buried Teresa. How do you know that they didn't dig her up after and take some bones? Family will never know. So how'd they do that? Think about it. It's possible. I'm not saying it happened. I said it's possible. I thought Kathy was the auto trader person who actually said Stephen came out in a towel. Running Fox, yes. But I also know for a fact, I read this in Casso 2 years ago and it stuck with me. I haven't been able to relocate again because honestly, I haven't gone through everything. But I remember specifically, and I probably did a video on it, but specifically remember that that conversation was not about Stephen Avery. It was about Chuck or Earl, that one of his coworkers or something came to his house and really creeped her out. Really creeped him out. Sorry, guys, I had like 2 hours sleep, but I'm off tomorrow, so I can stay up. But I had like Chuck or Avery. I'm sorry, Chuck or Earl, some girl creeped him out, and Kratz used that story saying it was Teresa when it wasn't Teresa. They strike the barcode to prevent. All right, I skipped one. I skipped stuff. 2 new tweets today. Let me back up. Got that. Did I miss a question from Professor Brent Ainsworth? I believe the Havok had a funeral for a body and looked the other way while the cops prosecutor said burn pit, but okay. Money facts. I thought Kathy was the auto trader person who actually said Stephen came out with the towel. I think it was her, but I'm not positive. I don't want to say yes or no. That's the reason they asked Brendan why and if Avery went under the hood. Playlist, they had to ask Brendan if he was under the hood. They already knew what they were doing. They already knew this was all part of the setup. They didn't ask him until much later. From what I remember, they didn't ask him in like the first interviews. This didn't happen until much later when they already knew they were going to go after him. I'm here to learn and you. Why is the family going along with bones in a burn pit, though? If they know their daughter was never burned, then who said they knew their daughter was never burned? Well, back up for a second, Falcon. Nobody said that they didn't know their daughter was burned. The question is, did Stephen Avery burn her? Whether they know or not, they know that their daughter was burned. That's bones are bones. But who did the killing? They're going to assume that police are right and it was Stephen Avery because it was found on Stephen Avery's property. That's what you're not grasping. You're missing that part. Dawn and Trace said Teresa was the one who said Stephen in a towel. Like, yeah, Dawn's not credible at all. Ben, you know I love you. I got no hard feelings. Phoebe, is it really go to bed? Why do you think Avery was so diligent, clean evidence, fingerprints everywhere, but didn't care about leaving his blood in the car? I don't think anybody did. 1 year I went to picked up all the circles off. That's why I'm still here. Ziggy, that does not surprise me. Ellie didn't need to place Avery under the hood. They already had blood evidence. They did need to place him under the hood. I forgot the reason why playlist, but they did. They had to. Because, oh, I know what it was. This is what I came up with, and I think I'm trying to remember if it was in Ferrick's book or not. I don't believe it was. But they had to have Brenda because they switched out the battery. And the only way that they would be able to prove that Steven switched out the battery or Steven put in a new battery is by having them lift the hood. Without that, they couldn't do it. That's the explanation for that. They had a funeral for a body and they knew the story about Avery was murdering her and disposing her body by fire is bullshit. Falcon, they didn't care. That's why I lied about the fire. I said the fire was huge to the roof. Planted blood evidence. So the more planted evidence they had, the better. Absolutely. You think there is any validity to the Siki letter? I never gave much thought to him to the Siki letter. I knew it wasn't Ed Edwards. I don't think it's some just, big thing. Do I think somebody's telling the truth with it? Yeah. Do I think that somebody's conscience is clean because of it? Yeah. Zellner might be right, though. Like, I didn't know. There's no way I could have possibly known that all these people were illiterate that work at the smelter. Like, I would think big fires, they would have to be kind of smart, but I guess not. So I'm going to go with Zellner's theory totally on that because I don't know any differently. But I don't think it was some, like, conspiracy. I don't think it was, like, some cryptic message. Wiley was cleaning and didn't notice. Ben, that blood is impossible. I went through this last week. That blood is physically impossible to plant the way it is. Absolutely impossible. You could not touch blood like that ever. It would not leave two big points, two perfect circles at the end. You wouldn't have a perfect butterfly no matter how you try to do it unless you went like this twice. The blood, you cannot make that blood mark. It's physically impossible. The buried bones were the ones recovered from those burnt bones. Without forensic studies or credible testimony, the Siki letter is not useful to anyone. Bobby Joseph and the defense was well aware that he had access to that computer. That is true, Falcon. I did read that, someone wanted to say, I think it was Dumb and Dumber, wanted to say that, like, they didn't have that evidence, but they did have that evidence. They chose not to follow up on it. Howard Gilter's relying on the blood in the RAV4. Louis, every single Gilter that I have ever known, and I am friends with some, every single Gilter I've ever known, that's the one piece they can't get past. That there was blood in the RAV4. Steven's blood is in the RAV4. They can wash away every other theory. They can't get past that one. I don't know why. I love you too, Ethel. Where'd you guys go? Is Ericos doing one now too? That you guys like going back and forth? Because everyone like disappeared. Perfect circles were anti-gravity and smeared up. It's exactly right. Has anyone heard anything about Casey's testing a Dassey garage? I don't believe so, Shauna. But I really turned on Stephen in court. He even lied. Absolutely. I'll just call you Varg because I'm not even going to try to pronounce your first name. And Joseph, are you missing or having tech issues? I missed you when you came back. Marissa, you disappeared too. I don't know how they can misspell skinny. See, according to Zellner, they're completely illiterate. I thought Erico started doing a show because like all you guys like disappeared. It is very inconsistent. I agree. Fucking of course it matter what I miss. I got garlic bread. I have garlic bread in my freezer. My fat ass doesn't eat garlic bread though. The day the cops took the groin swabs is the same day they stole a vial. That's what I believe. I never bought the whole vial theory because I think it's too easy to prove how old the blood was. But the groin swabs, yeah, absolutely. That totally agree with that. Marissa and on having a party together. Sorry. Oh, Marissa and I having a party together. Okay. No, it's just like Joseph disappeared. Everybody like disappeared at once, and everyone was asking for him. Joseph, you were very missed. Ben thought that you were like ignoring him or something like that. All right. So Joseph says the Fassbender report labeled the VLA study as analysis on Brendan's computer, and the CD that can be opened without special software was withheld. The CD impeaches Bobby's credibility. Falcon, I believe Dumb and Dumber just skipped over Fassbender's report on the computer. They were not planning to have Brendan on the stand, and the report said it was Brendan's computer. I would be interested how close it is in any language. Groin swabs will never be proven. Playlist, the groin swabs are known. This is not a secret. I did a video on this 2 years ago. That's in the reports. But the groin swabs were taken. That is in the reports. Whether they supposedly threw them out or not doesn't matter. They're in the reports. You guys remember on the show, as Eleanor said, when filing motion, it isn't going to get any better than this. Actually, I don't remember that. Thank you, Tim. And as Apple says, I have a video for that. That's where they got the DNA. Now, I have no idea if Zellner's right. I mean, I'm going to take a word for it, that there was never any sweat DNA or anything on the hood latch, that they just used the groin swab and said that was the hood latch or mislabeled it. That's done far more than people want to believe. And I'll go with her on that. I agree with that, because that would explain sweat DNA, because your balls sweat. And we've had this conversation before, but yeah, balls sweat. So that makes perfect sense of where sweat DNA would come from. She was right. The motion got denied. She ain't getting them out, and she knows it. Ben, I disagree. She's not getting them out, or she's having a hard time due to corruption. It has nothing to do with Avery. Because it's Avery's right to get a fair trial. And nobody can deny that he did not have a fair trial. Looking at it, he didn't have a fair trial. Kratz ruined a fair trial. So the fact that he never had a fair trial, a court should not deny a fair trial, because if he's so guilty, then let him have a fair trial. If it comes out guilty again, then he's guilty. But he deserves a fair trial. And the fact that they won't give it to him only further escalates the reason that there's a problem. Evidentiary value is the key. Falcon, and that was not provided to the defense in time for assessment. What was Teresa's past job? Past job? She was 24. She went to college. She probably worked, bullshit jobs. But Falcon, the defense, they didn't have a motive from Bobby. They didn't research it enough. Players hood latch will never be replicated. Science without replication is not science. I'm a lab scientist. Look me up. Evidentiary value is key. Falcon, I agree completely. Beauty and Shrang didn't take the time. This means that the motion that BOD may have accessed this porn wasn't something they were interested in pursuing. Of course not. They needed Bobby. Bobby was their number one witness. Bobby and Scott lied to Kratz, the police, everything. Plus, how can they prove Brendan didn't look that stuff on the computer? Because Brendan was at school. Ben and Falcon, maybe you guys just watched the documentary and are not reading everything else. Zellner proved, and the cops had it on the times that computer was accessed. Brendan was at school. There was supposedly nobody home. So it can be proven. Fassbender's report was provided to the defense. Yeah, but the defense was useless. That's why I call them Dumb and Dumber. They were fucking useless. Ben asked for the computer seized on April 22nd. Brendan was in custody on March 1st. Then Brendan wasn't home. Yeah, I went through all that. Phoebe, you need to get sleep. Supposedly, timestamps show the nasty computer searches occurred in hours Bobby was home. Joseph, did you swab your junk for us yet, or just the buccal swab? It's mind-blowing how tunnel vision some people are. I'm telling you, Louis, the smarter people are, the more tunnel vision they are. They can't see outside it. No, she never waitressed at Sapphires. She was in college. I think right out of college, she didn't have like good jobs. CDDV evidence is irrelevant to the point that Avery's first attorneys didn't strenuously acknowledge it, and Zellner didn't acknowledge it until she was denied it on her first motion. Playlist, see, that's where you're wrong. Dumb and Dumber just fucking sucked as attorneys. In my mind, they believed Avery was guilty, and they put up a defense, for a $240,000 defense. And they did, their job was to raise reasonable doubt. And they did. They just had a dumb jury. But they didn't do anything that they were supposed to do. No, they weren't interested in anything. They didn't care. That's why I call them Dumb and Dumber. Says Siki is Turkish. Really? So what does it mean? I'll buy that it's Turkish, but what does it mean? It's not defense. They were mounting, apparently. I agree with that, Falcon. They weren't able to, Falcon. Sorry. Hey, Allie. Poor Allie. She wakes up at like 11 o'clock. There's proof. All right. There was also proof of a file named Teresa, another named Habak, and another named Steven. And it wasn't just porn. It was the sickest stuff ever deceased. Girls, rotten girls, etc. Very true, Angelique. Really interesting. All right. Silky is Turkish for what? Skinny. Oh, is that where the name came from? Well, we know Skinny is Scott's Haddock. That was his nickname. So she went straight from college into pornography. No, she was a photographer. That's what she wanted to do. But I mean, there is money in shooting porn. She probably, in that time, she probably made good money doing it. My head exposed reading the comments of people here not here to learn. Does Falcon not even know that the first two lawyers were not even allowed to put the blame on someone else? Oops, English. Hey, Allie, everyone check her videos. Laura, I go to sleep. You rock. Thanks, Jerome. Oh, it's a black heart. I was like, how'd you put like a marker over something? I don't know how to say goodbye in French. Adios? That's Spanish. Bonjour? That's hello. TikTok tweeted today, the biggest question anyone should have for guilt is Avery is in prison. He was found guilty. You won. Why care? Why spend every minute of every day defending his conviction? When he walks out of prison, do you think I'll be here every day defending how innocent he is? Good point. Au revoir. I still can't say it right. Au revoir. New York accents and French accents don't go hand in hand. I won't even try to pretend. I don't get the Kratz sexting. He knows the law and knows there's a record of all texts. God knows what the cops really got on him. Oh, Kratz is a scumbag. I mean, he is a pure scumbag. He is 10 times worse than Avery has ever been. I think I would even make him worse than Earl or Chuck. Other than asking how I feel, do you have a case-related question? You certainly have no answers. Pronounce au revoir. I'm telling you, I can't do it. Au revoir. KK is an egomaniac. He thought he was untouched. Absolutely. Au revoir. I say I still can't do it. I suck. Ori Vori. Fluffinut is back. Big Brad Kratz. He's such a dick. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I hear people retract messages. Now I got to see it. Oh, I can't even see it because you retracted it yourself. Thanks, Phoebe. Vori. Valerie. I give up. Oh, come on, is not a convincing response. Orivoa. Nah, that don't sound right, Kareem. But he's the prize. I just imagine Laura in France. That's when I would hook up with Jerome to help me. R Ovor. How's that? That was good, Tim. I could do that. R Ovor. How about I just say peace out? Hey, Lisa. If in France, just wave goodbye. That's it. Over. I'm not even going to try to do it. It's a misspelling of Sicky. Thanks, Louie. How about you say Kasoric? I got that one down. I can say how you doing. I can say that. Just rather listen to fluff crunching on a nut butter than me. Or Eva. Please someone get the idea of crats out of my head before bedtime. I did say Kasoric. I got it. Exactly. It's like, how you doing? I could do that. But you said Sicky. Yeah, Sicky. I don't know. Sicky Key. I'm telling you, I'm not good with names, but I'm the first to admit it. You'll never hear me deny it. This case is that messed up. I don't go to my shed in case TB is in there, dead or alive. If they disappear, do you want to start a YouTube page for you? What? You lost me, Jay. There we go. Started making a murderer 2, visiting Zellner's blood expert. Believe a rerun. You pegged me. I do like the canine intermissions, but it's the most adorable thing I like about you. I thought fluffing out of butter was the most adorable thing about me. He's hungry. He's eating away. But I admit it too. Like I'm not going to deny it. I suck at names, and it's not that I don't care. See, they could say peace out. I wouldn't even try to say that, Ziggy. And you need my doggy? He just went inside. He probably went to go pee after he just pigged out. So you guys have any other questions? You want to talk about other stuff? I know Allie's late to the party. Now say Peg likes your Lightyear. Yeah, okay. But like I said, I admit it. I am not good with names. I'm not going to deny it. We have a request that you make some late night calls to people again. No, it's too late now. It's 11 o'clock. I'd get in trouble for that. You can't call after like a certain time because then you're like a solicitor. But I would call Kaczynski. Bye, Julie. You're leaving. We all have something we suck at. Good point. Avery stated his brothers are disgusting. Brother might have killed Teresa, but how could that be? Because Avery and Teresa left the Avery yard unless she never lied. Playlist, which brother you're talking about? Because I think they're all disgusting. Chuck is gross. Earl is gross. They're all disgusting. I have answers. You just don't like them. That's cool. I'm done trying to convince people. That's why it's so funny. Maybe someone will answer himself this time. Yeah, right? She could have been followed. Where is Ryan Hilgast? Does he not work at Frodent? I agree to teach you some French lesson. All right. I'm saying if you disappear and Ken Kratz is your attorney, shall we support him? Just kidding. You're okay. Ken Kratz will be the one that kills me. SANTH Carr left them. BD left. Don says, I want that rap for KZ. Yeah, like I don't know why she doesn't have it yet. I really don't. Oh my God, I'm at Froder now. Ken Kratz would never be my attorney, ever. He was stripped of his license. I don't know if he was totally stripped, but no, he can't use it. Good night, Jerome. What time is it in France? Josephine, how did they plant the blood? How many times you got to say how they planted the blood? It's easy. Wow, it's 6 a.m. Jerome, go get some sleep. Hackam Dave's family never got a car back since people were actually sent to jail for murder. That's a good point. Oh, because they were appealing it. They can't while it's in appeals. I think I've got his attention now. Come here. I'm fluffing out of butters, trying to cuddle. Come here. Al. Tim Donato page RH get info. Come here, Goober. I have never met you. Never met Fluffing Out of Butter? Come here, Fluffing Out of Butter. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Uh-oh, Book coming. Book is coming. If he gets out, I'll admit I was wrong. Well, you would have to admit you were wrong if he gets out. Lisa, hang on. I'm trying to get him. Depending on the region of Turkey, could mean missing too. Whoops. I'm trying to get him. Trying to drag him over my foot. He was here before, Allie. I nicknamed him George. He looks like George. Come here. They want to see you. Come here. He's being camera shy. But Ben, if he gets out, you would have to admit you were wrong, because that would mean you were wrong. Come here. Come here. I don't know. When you see him, you'll know what I mean. He just looks like a George. Tell him to put on his pajamas. I know. Okay, I have 2 questions that I've been sure about. All right, let me get Fluffing Out of Butter. Hold on. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. All right, I'm not chasing you all around. Forget it. Forget it. You guys are going to have to wait. I'm not chasing them all over the house. All right, what did I miss? He does look like a stuffed animal, but for some reason, he looks like a George to me. Ben, I think we're all thinking, obviously you don't have to. Running Fox, you Canadian. All right, player says, ask Avery, said his brother. I went through that already. 5 a.m. in UK was still hanging. Thanks, Jay. Jay, you're in the UK? For some reason, I thought you were here. They wouldn't just kill him in prison before that. That would be way too obvious. Falcon Gender is simply Barb's ex-husband's name. And because Peterson already made the comment that he would kill him, that's why I don't think they would either. John is Barb's last name. Brian Dacian, Brendan's real dad's last name was Jonda. My daughter, because that George is always on Canadian programs. How do people do that thing where they highlight someone's name? You just put at. Like when Joseph responds to me, he always does it. Allie just did it. You put at the at symbol. Why didn't they go easy? Someone else said that earlier because Steven didn't do drugs. No, Brendan's a true Dassey. None of the Dassey boys are biological kids of Tom Jonda. None. Come here. Come here. Boop. He wasn't out too long, so I'm sure he has friends in the can. You type, so Jonda and Barb are the same person. No! Barb Jonda was her married name before she got with Scott. Come here. Come here. Come here, Booger. Come here, Booger. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Ooh, Booger's gonna come here. So Jonda is a former last name. That is correct. No, I think Falcon's just confused. Come here. I remember put him away for 18 years because they didn't like him and framed him. It's a $36 million lawsuit. Ben, if Steven was charged with drugs, he would get out. Yeah, he didn't do drugs. I honestly think Steven likes prison. How does Steven like prison? It wasn't his fault. He was in there for 18 years. Caught up in the air. I think this will be the hardest case, KZ. I absolutely agree with that. It will be the hardest case. Falcon usually knows more than this. I think his brain got hacked. Come here. He is not coming over to me. I got the big one right next to me. Barb was born Avery, married to Dassey, had 4 boys, divorced, married Tom Jonda, no babies with him, divorced, married Scott Toddick. That's right. Really, Falcon, at least Ben is man enough to admit it. At least Ben says that he will. I can't believe you wouldn't say you were wrong. That's crazy. I believe in your theory that KZ knows the target and is holding it back. I really do believe that. I can't imagine her not. They found the real kills and set up Steven. Absolutely. I have no problem admitting I'm wrong. I'm not yet, though. That is true. Laura, you doing some on the 20th before, on, or after the Zellner new evidence? Yeah, if I could see it. But I don't think it's new evidence. I think we already know what the evidence is. I think she's appealing that the judge won't allow her to have an evidentiary hearing with all this new evidence. That's what she's appealing. Allie, I cannot get the dog. I'm trying with everything. My feet. I am frequently wrong. No issue admitting it. I am never wrong. No, I'm wrong all the time. As you can tell with the way I say names. Zellner just tweeted. I don't really care for Zellner's tweets. I think they make no sense. And she's been tweeting for 2 years, and most of it's bullshit. But I get why she does it, but I've never really followed her tweets. Come here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody's getting out on a technicality. If he gets out, he's getting out. Because the Avery bill was making them look awful. It's exactly right, Patrick. It's exactly right, Fox. Playlist, I disagree. I believe she's got something up her sleeve for the evidentiary hearing. Remember, she doesn't have to give her hand out. She has to give all the evidence in order to get a new trial, but she does not have to show all her cards. That would be a trial yet, because she doesn't have a trial yet. Just accept the notion I'm right as a given. No, because you're not right. I don't know the law in the U.S., but where I come from, Bobby would be in jail for years for what he had on his PC. But he didn't have, I don't believe he had, everyone's saying he didn't have anything illegal. He just had disgusting stuff that he found on the internet. Casey just requested to increase her word limit from 31 to 35. Good chance she has new info. Did she really? That's an interesting point. I didn't know. Quentin just said that Casey requested to increase her word limit from 31,000 to 35,000. The Avery bill, I think, was thrown out. Your name is Kim Matthews. Searches child porn weren't there. Kitty porn pics. I don't remember. Somebody said that what he had was not illegal. Come here, dummy. Laura just said, when Stephen and Brendan get out, what you going to do after that? What? Laura just saying, when Stephen and Brendan get out, what are you going to do after that? Oh, Jay already said this, that what am I going to turn the channel into? What I'd like to do is like a show like Nancy Grace or something, like interviews. I really like doing the interviews. And you guys, I've gotten really good feedback from them. So I would like to do stuff like that. Focus on crime. I'm not trying to solve crimes. Just focus on crime, true crime, and do that. And what are you going to do when it rains beer? Then I'm going to fly to California, Falcon, and you and I are going to go get drunk. What he had wasn't illegal because the content was apparently not on his machine. It was only search. When I ask you to answer me in less than 3 words, who did the gruesome internet searches, and you don't respond with a name, you have not answered my question. You would be so good in Nancy Grace. Thank you, Lisa. If I do, that's what I'd like to do. That's what I'm aiming for, but obviously I need more interviews. We need more good crimes. Fox Hills must have been just a social. Fox Hills was a joke. Hey, Ben and Playlist, that's a good one. If they're so innocent, I mean, if they are so guilty, then tell me why the police paid for a, all right, let me rephrase that. If Stephen Avery was so guilty, he was in jail since November. The cops said that they needed to bring Brendan and his family to safety the weekend before the 1st. So if Stephen Avery, who's in jail already, what are they afraid of? Who are they threatened by? Since when does the police pay for a night out, for a vacation for the family, when the killer's in jail and not record anything? Explain that one. I haven't yet, Shauna. I think there's a lot of like random stuff they do that Marissa actually told me about it, and Phoebe, where it's like computer generated. They just like pick up they'll throw out, take your subscribers or whatever, and they'll throw out a random name. And I think that's what I'm going to do for the first 5,000. Ben, please answer Joseph's question before he is conniption. That's how you spell conniption. Playlist or Ben, answer my question. I seriously want an answer. What Zellner is currently showing is weak and will get shot down if she never gets to present what's up her sleeve. Playlist, it's not weak. You can't tell me that this stuff is weak. She is not dealing with Wisconsin's, finest. She's dealing with experts from around the world who are grade A experts. That's not hogwash. That's serious. I didn't hear it. See, you didn't hear it. How could you not hear me? Did ST go to Fox Hills with the Dassies? Phyllis, that I don't know. That's an excellent question. You would definitely be good at the interview thing, but not end up like Nancy. Keep it, Laura. Of course it'd be me. Innocent until proven guilty. Jay, of course it would still be me. Silly. But that kind of like, true crime, different crimes from around the world, talk about them, give my opinions on them, get experts on it. That's what I really like to do. Because I was taking a dump. All right. Instead of a drawing, you could just pick me. I'm not red. All right. My question was, if Stephen Avery is so guilty, because Stephen Avery was in jail, but if Stephen Avery was so guilty, then why did the police pay for Brendan and Stephen to have a night in a vacation resort, stating that they were keeping them safe, that they had to take them there for their safety, when who were they running from? Stephen was in jail. Since when did the police pay for people to go on vacation? Since when do they pay to send people, at a hotel for a night with absolutely no video recording? And then look at that. The next day is March 1st. The whole story is bullshit. One nail to go on Avery Coffin. What? There are so many involved who are corrupted that you don't know who to trust. The court are afraid of admitting they were wrong. Was the judge paid off? Nobody knows. All right, Falcon, I'm waiting for the answer. Answer is I'll have to investigate that further. Please do. While they were in prison or a suspect in jail. Stephen was in jail for months. They did this for Brendan's family the night before March 1st. So February 28th, February 29th, depending if it was a leap year. But they didn't record anything. There was no video cameras. But it's a bit odd that the next day they confessed. So when Brendan confessed. So when everybody says how Brendan, wasn't coerced, they seem to forget that the cops had him alone with his family for 24 hours in a vacation setting. I'm sure they planted shit in his head. I think they paid for the hotel so they could plant the bones. Misplay was definitely at hand. That's possible too. So they control the whole situation. Yeah, but it's a little too coincidental that the next night he confessed. The whole story is garbage. Cushy hotels coercing enough for me. I agree. I am unfamiliar with some of their minutiae. Before he started coming in his chat, you even know about the case. Honest question. Maybe they just wanted him more comfortable and away from a Stephen phone call. Ben, if Brendan, I want you to follow that through. If Brendan wasn't involved yet, Brendan hadn't confessed yet, why would they be worried about Stephen calling him? Stephen could have been calling anybody. Why were they worried about Kim calling Brendan? At that point, they did not know Brendan was involved. That your comment makes no sense when you look at the whole picture. You're assuming that they knew it was Brendan. They didn't know it was Brendan. They had no idea. They just picked the dumbest of the dumb. That's how Brendan got involved. Well, Quinn, we knew Falcon. Falcon admits that he doesn't know that much. Playlist knows a lot, and Ben knows a lot. Brendan was being deceptive and uncooperative since his first interview in Crivets. Playlist, how is that possible? Where do you think that he was uncooperative. He was completely cooperative. He just didn't give them exactly what they wanted, because he was telling the truth. He was too dumb to lie. I hate to say it, but it's true. He was too stupid to lie. Well, they suspected he was involved. No, they didn't suspect he was involved. They forced him to be involved. Did Brendan claim Essay was inappropriately touching him at one point? That was on the phone with his mom. But this is how, I mean, I'm sorry for Brendan lovers that this is going to come out wrong, but that's how stupid Brendan is. Once it came out, it was almost like they put in his brain how Stephen molested him. So he told his mom about it, like when him and his mom were talking or whatever. And then all of a sudden, it was like when they were wrestling. Well, that's a totally different scenario, but they got the original story because that's what Scott Tadich said. Scott Tadich told Ken Kratz or the police, I think it was Ken, that Stephen molested Brendan. Stephen was in fucking jail. There's no way that he molested Brendan because he was in prison for Brendan's entire life. I mean, think about it. Brendan is 16. Avery's 18. I mean, Avery spent 18 years in jail. It's not rocket science to do the math. Telling a different story and lying isn't being cooperative. Playlist, he didn't tell different stories. So this vacation was before the first Brendan interview. No, it was the one done on March 1st. The one he confessed on, that's the one. Brendan told Barb the cops were trying to get to him by saying molestation happened because that's what Scott Tadich told him. If there was evidence, the family said we are in danger, and then, yes, fair enough, but it wasn't said, so no need for a hotel. Stephen was in jail. Who are they in danger from? Laura, what time will you be streaming? Till? Oh, I don't know. But these sessions seem to go forever. I guess until you guys don't want me to stream anymore. And I have to show Lisa Fluffernutter Butter eventually. If he ever comes over here. Brendan didn't understand the implications of his word choice. Definitely not. All right, Lisa, I'm going to get him. I got to let the big one out, though. Hold on. Come on. No, Bubba. Go. Go. No, go. No. No. Not getting it. Go. Go. Don't go. Dead Fluffernutter Butter. He's almost a year. Say hi, puppy. His name is George. That's why I changed his name to George. Say hi. Say hi. He needs a haircut so bad. He is a cotton ball. Right? Mwah. He's a purebred Maltese. Changed his name to Spike. If the other one will jump up eventually. Come here. Come here. Come here. Jump up. They want to see you too. Come here. Come here. There you go. There's the other one. That's the big one. Nutter Butter needs a haircut bad. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, Buka. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Jump. Jump. Wimp. I have a Shih Tzu. Thanks, Gilliam. Brendan was telling the truth about the fire. Too many small details. Nobody said there wasn't a fire. Bye, Tim. Come here. Come here. Come here. Hi. All right, get down. All right, let me go back up. Hey, LOL, haha. Let me go back up. That's it. That's all I got. I got nothing else. Yeah, he's my big boy. What comment from Falcon? Now he wants to go out. Colburn calling the plates. Really, I can't think long about it. It just sends me under. It's my top 10. Absolutely. Men don't have Shih Tzus. I've listened to every interview that's been released. They were grooming Brendan. They were absolutely grooming Brendan. Can you do it in Hangouts, Allie? I can if he's in there with us. Who? I was going to see if you guys wanted to go over to Hangouts. I mean, I've been talking for like 3.5 hours already. What? You need to go to bed, but let the dog out.
Oh, I'm doing this thing for Mixer. I need a code.
What?
I need a code. Hold on.
I didn't get it.
Hold on.
I'm not doing it now. Jillian, Hangouts is when a bunch of us talk together, and it's not just me talking. I love you too, Ethel. Falcon, you want to do a Hangout? Falcon, something about chapstick on the bull is actually wax. If I send you a pic on Facebook, Allie, do you want to do a Hangout? It'll take me 2 seconds. I want playlist in a Hangout. Playlist, you going to come live in a Hangout or Ben? Yes, no, maybe so. No, I'm leaving. Of course, Ben. You never want to come live. All right, hang on. I'm going to set it up now. Because I now have 2 cameras. YouTube. I'm so good I can even do this Hangout and post the link right in here. Whoops. I know. I got this, Marissa. I'm sure I'll still forget anyway. But the fun about having 2 cameras, I can do 2 things at once. All right. And go live. I need the other room though. Schedule for later. We'll say in 10 minutes. I'll believe that when I'm not ignored. You're not ignored. Next. upcoming. All right. This one. Live dashboard. Webcam. Schedule for later. 1:45. Hangouts with filters. All right. All right, let me do it. I don't want that. Hang on, guys. It's coming. Oh, shut up. Why can't I ever get this right? Dane, let the dog out. Why can't I get this right? Hang on. So one. How my live events? Live. Oh, come on. That's why. I don't think I've made what I want. What the hell? Stand by. Bear with me. Marissa, why can't I get this right? Oh, you know why? I bet why. Other. Submit. There we go. New live event. All right. All right. I think I'm on. Okay. All right, guys, I'm sending a link. You guys got the link? LE is law enforcement. Nose is not there. Allie, did you get the link? Yo, having 2 cameras is awesome. Good night, Shamina. Playlist, your answer to the Fox Hills question is not credible. Let me get the link again. Oh, I see people in here. Here's the link again. Why can't you do the hangout? We got Ziggy, Kim. You're on. I'm there. I'm gonna try my robo voice. Well, I got both these open. I said a boyfriend has the headphones. I just did this whole hangout for her. Laura, we can't see the hangout unless we join. I gave the link like 4 times. Oh, you want me to shut this one down? I could shut this one down and then move over there. I got 2 cameras. I could do both at once. Falcon's in there. All right, I got no sound coming from there, though. Are you there? All right, I can't do both on sound, though. I'm on a phone. I'm sorry, but I just got the damn headset that works. You know how mine is. Hang on, I gotta let the dog in because my son is worthless. Ugh. All right, I can't hear this, though. Probably because it's coming through my headset. So hold on. I could keep both going. I just I'm gonna leave it. I don't want to fuck with sound. Can you watch it like this? Yeah, I can have both of them open. Good. How are you? But I can only have sound going through one. This is cool, though, with 2 cameras. All right, so I'm going to shut this one down because it's almost like 3 hours. But find the Hangouts one. I say it's just another room, but we're over in Hangouts. So I'm going to shut this one down. Come over there. Allie, you know where to find us. Anyone else that wants to join, you know where to find us. Marissa, can you help Running Fox figure out how to find us in Hangouts? It's gonna look like a regular thing, though. We will watch the Hangout on here. Exactly. Link doesn't work for me. I don't know why the link wouldn't work. Like, I gotta take my earrings out. And Gillian, happy birthday. Hope you saw the pic Marissa linked for you. That's the one, Louie. That's exactly it. Bye, Jay. Click link is a video, audio chat. Got it. Okay. I'm going to shut this one down. Guys, go over to where it says Hangouts with Guilters. And I'll be back. Find us over there. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out my other videos. End.